heard the little click, click, and I'm like, it's showtime.
Yeah, it is time for another episode of Hammered. On today's episode, we've got members of the Stone Parker Band via Zoom. What's up, fellas and lady? How are y'all doing?
How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing great. First off, thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
I know,
thanks, Rob.
I understand we're interrupting someone's lunch break, so thank you very much for prioritizing this over your much-needed break from work.
Yeah, I know. I mean, to spend an hour with us when you could be imbibing in your lunch,
Like
and
literally
just hanging out in
doing
your car.
anything else.
We do
And
appreciate
you're
it.
here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we got Russell. Make sure I get this last name right. Pallaci. Pallaci. Damn it!
Yeah.
I was almost there.
That's the common mistake. It's okay.
You know, I was gonna say Pallaci, but then I went with the silent, the rolling CI Pallaci, and I screwed it up.
Well, I'm going to just pull out my Italian here, and I'm going to say, two C's are usually indicative of that CH sound. So it is kind of unusual for that single C and the I it to have that CH sound. So that's, entertaining and interesting.
That's true.
Yeah. So Russell, you're lead vocals for Stone Parker Band. We're also joined by Carrie Postel, also vocals for the band, and Erik Schmidt, bass player.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on, man.
No problem.
So, Erik set this up, and I want to say, first and foremost, thank you guys. And you are going to be performing at Rock the Pig on September the 4th.
Woo!
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Look.
Looking forward to it.
We can't wait.
So I watched your video, your promo video on your website. All right, and we're going to get to the bottom of something before we even move forward. Stone Parker. All right, let's get to the bottom of this. How did you come up with this name, Stone Parker? Well, first off, go ahead and just tell me. I know you and Erik came up with the group, right, Russell? You guys played together a while back. Y'all split, did your own thing, then you came back. All right. And then you made the Stone Parker Band. Am I right,
Yes.
or am I just blowing smoke?
No, you're absolutely right.
All right. So tell me, man, what happened, man? You guys played together before, and when did y'all start?
See, we started back in 2009. We were playing together, I believe. Played together for about a year or so. Then just kind of went, Erik was getting into the original scene. I continued for just a little while longer in the cover scene, and then hadn't really done anything for about 10 years or so, almost 11 years until now.
Yeah. And how about you, Erik? You went off, played with another band, or?
Yeah, I played with this band called Early Morning Warning, and we played all over the South and recorded a couple albums and played for some music record executives, and then that, just didn't get there, and then we called it quits after about 3 or 4 years.
And then you guys just reunited, and it's like it's time to get the band
Yeah,
back
we've
together.
been kind of tossing the idea around, a year or so after Early Morning Warning broke up, and it finally, I got married, my wife got pregnant, and so it kind of delayed the plans a little bit. And then my son's old enough now to where he can come to practices and be with me, so we finally got it going.
Aw. Well, congratulations on your newest edition.
Yeah, well, it's 6 years now.
Oh, well,
He's
still.
kind of old.
It's not real new.
Not that
He's
new.
not new. He's not old. He's like in that mid-use
I
phase.
said
Yeah.
newest. So
Okay,
unless
yeah.
there's been another baby since then.
No. No.
One and done.
Well, Carrie, how about you? How'd you get involved in this?
Well, actually, the band that Erik and Russ were in about over 10 years ago, my brother played lead guitar. So I used to go to their shows. I've always liked to sing. I've never really had the courage to sing out in public. But back then they had mentioned, me singing maybe a couple tunes with them, and then that kind of fizzled. And so when Erik and Russ were first talking over a year ago about forming a band again, they reached out to me and wanted to see if I'd be interested in doing some lead vocals as well. So
So did you audition?
I did not audition.
Oh, interesting.
Because
She just blew us away the first chance she got.
Well, Russ and I would do some karaoke in the past, so he kind of knew where my vocals were at. So I think it was just kind of a, spur of the moment. Hey, let's see if Carrie wants to, come on board and sing. So. Yeah.
So are you all from North Carolina or?
No.
Who's from New York? No. Somebody's got to be from New York.
I know. I'm going. My guess is Erik is from New York.
I'm from. No, you are close on the New York for the other people, but I'm from California.
Oh no shit! Wow.
Russell's definitely from up north, right?
Northern California.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm from New Jersey originally, so I'm a Jersey girl.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And I'm from Niagara Falls, Buffalo area, New York.
Oh, that's the cold part of New York.
Yeah, we're the cold part. New York.
All right, so a little West Coast flavor and some Northern flavor up there. That's sweet. So tell me about Stone Parker. Where is it coming from?
Who is he?
Who is it? Can we break it right here on Hammered?
Take that question.
We credit him as the founder of the band, but it's a nickname of a friend of mine that I've known since I moved here from California about 14 years ago. He's probably one of my best friends, and I just figured I want to name this is basically my retirement band. I'm over 40 years old now. I can't be chasing the dream anymore. So my retirement band was going to be named after a person. So he was the right person to name it after. I
mean, it's pretty catchy name.
It is catchy.
Stone Parker.
And after watching that promo video, I'm just like, who is this guy? This guy's a fucking legend, and no one's gonna spill the beans on who this guy is. I'm like, I kind of get the feel. I felt like I was looking for Perry Mason. Like, who is he, and why is he such a big deal? So it's good to know.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of cliche names out there, so obviously having something different makes you stand out a little more too.
Yeah. Okay. I want to ask you something, Russell. Are you okay, man? You're moving around. It's like somebody's coming after you or something. Like you're looking over your shoulder. Like
there's blue lights
on the run.
Right.
I'm the one at work, so I gotta make sure nobody's coming out looking for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's on his lunch break. He's hiding. So
look, if I was on lunch break, I'd be like, I don't give a shit if the plant's falling apart. Don't bother me.
I mean,
I need to eat.
You're technically off the clock, so like, what are they gonna do?
Oh.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you gotta go back at a certain time, but
I mean,
what's he doing out in that car? That's what they're wondering. What's he doing out in his car?
Yeah, what's he doing in that car? It looks a little shady.
Some of that Stone Parker.
I mean, we make money playing music, but not enough to let me get fired.
Oh no, I hear
that.
Oh yeah.
I've taken many a lunch break where I truly fantasized about not returning. So.
Well, if you get to a point where you've got to go or something, just let me know, man. And
yeah,
I don't want to keep you. I mean.
Yeah, no problem at all.
All right, bro. I see you wearing that Diamondbacks hat. You like the Diamondbacks?
Yeah. I'm actually just an avid fitted hat collector. So I've got fitted pretty just about every team imaginable.
I hope you got a Duke hat. We're gonna have to get you a fitted Duke hat.
Yeah.
All right.
Next question.
Go Irish.
Moving on.
Yeah.
I may not agree with that one, but I wouldn't wear a Carolina hat either, so if that makes you feel better.
Oh yeah, I'll burn one though. Oh, here comes the hate mail.
Oh Lord. Okay, next question.
So tell me, man. So you guys, when did y'all start? How was 2020 for the band? Did you guys ignite during 2020? Is that when y'all took off? How many gigs are you guys averaging now? You're playing a lot or what?
Well, 2020 was kind of good for us in the fact that we had just kind of started out. So with the scene being a little bleak as it was with this whole pandemic going on, we were able to just kind of get songs together, get acquainted together, smooth out our set lists, and then start getting out and more into 2021. Right now we're averaging about 2 gigs a month, so I would say we try to just take as much as we possibly could, without interfering too much in our daily activities, and just kind of go with it.
Okay. Yeah, so I see you're big on Pink Floyd and Kiss.
I am.
Kiss is coming to Raleigh, man, pretty soon.
I know. I got to take my 12-year-old niece there. She loves them. So
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Look,
when they lived in the area, I used to pick her up every Friday when I used to work third shift at the old place I worked at, and she always used to listen to everything that was on my radio. And now she's fully into rock music. So
well done.
You're doing something right.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Major uncle props here.
My kids, man, they're all older, like 21 and 17, but they like a lot of new stuff, but man, like nothing gets me when I hear my son listening to Alice in Chains or my daughter Nirvana. I'm like, yeah, I did something right with them. Yeah, but they listen to that new crap too, man. That's some of the worst music is that music's coming out these days.
Don't get me started.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, like, I can't even pull up a song right now because I don't listen to that mess. But, do you listen to country, Carrie? Are you a country fan?
I mean, my sister's kind of gotten me into country a little bit, but I mean, I'll tell you most of the stuff that I listen to is 70s, 80s, 90s, a little bit of oldies. My parents are older. My dad's a musician, so I kind of grew up around really good music.
Yeah.
And so, the stuff that they are playing nowadays, I can't deal. No, I just revert back.
Well, I see you're a fan of the Beatles too.
Yes.
They're
absolutely.
So is your style of music based on like the Beatles or?
I mean, my style of music is kind of all over the place. Like I said, I mean, I listen to 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So, I mean, I love Beatles. I love Four Seasons, Bob Seger. And then all the way up to obviously the 90s. That was my, youth, if you will. So Alanis Morissette, Jewel, Fiona Apple, things like that. So I have very eclectic taste in music.
Oh, Alanis Morissette. She's coming to the area too.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, and by the way, tomorrow, Live Nation, $20 tickets. Mm-hmm. And Alanis Morissette and Kiss are on that list. So,
wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's like lawn tickets, but I'll be there. Heck yeah, I'll be all over it. So, like, Eric, usually the bass player is the guy that they have to replace all the time. And you're like one of the founding members. Congratulations.
Yeah, I got immunity. Yeah.
Some of the bands we've had up here, man, they always are like, yeah, we just replaced our bass player. So
we did that.
Why is that such a hard person in the band to keep? Such a hard instrument to find, or what?
They got the biggest.
They got the what?
They got the biggest attitude.
The biggest attitude.
That's fine. No shade thrown here. Nothing but love in this room. It's fine. So tell me about, we got to hear a little bit about Carrie's sound, and, she grew up around music, and I love that, we're nothing but the product of, what we were forced to listen to growing up. But what about you guys, Russell and Eric? What made you get into music? And, obviously this is something that you love to do. So I'd love to just hear a little bit about your backgrounds as well.
I do. I mean, I grew up listening to pretty much everything. Whatever my parents would play on the radio, that's what I kind of grew up on. I mean, that range was really, really wide. I listened to some stuff that people just can't even believe it. I mean, as far as
what? Do expound on that, please.
Even like old Motown, old R&B, I mean, stuff like that. People can't believe I listen to it just because I'm on the younger side. So, I used to work with some guys that were in their 70s and 60s, and they're like, what do you know about that music? But I know I belong to the High Point Elks Lodge. I mean, we do like name that tune every now and then. And our team we have together is pretty much called Team Shazam, because we can pretty much pick an artist and a song on anything.
Oh, that's impressive.
People hate us because every time we're there we always dominate. So
oh man, y'all are like that team. We go to like these I haven't been to one in a while, but you go to like music bingo or 80s trivia at the bar, and there's always that one team that comes every week together and gives each other high fives, and they got T-shirts with their team names, and you know you're not going to win. You just, yeah. But anyway, that's cool.
But as far as singing, I just kind of started off like at a karaoke night. I mean, it was a few people said I did really good, and I just kept kind of doing that thing for a little while, and then I decided, it'd be kind of cool to do the band thing. And then that's when Carrie's brother Kevin and I had got together. We met up with Eric and started that out. I can honestly say now in 11 years time, my vocals are definitely a lot better now than they ever were then.
Mm-hmm.
But that was now it's just like a pad. Like, I'm singing everywhere, whether it's in the car, in the shower, at work, whatever. I'm always singing something.
Do you feel like you do your best work in the car, the shower, or on stage?
Probably shower. Is the bathroom, you get the better acoustics. The car isn't.
Yeah.
So what were your go-to karaoke songs in your humble beginnings?
I was more of the like Matchbox 20, Spin Doctors, like the 90s rock kind of thing. I guess you could say I kind of played it safe for a while, and then.
Well, I like that. Those are great songs. That's a timeless era. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
Music out of the 90s is golden.
So now we've got everything from Led Zeppelin to, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, Poison. I like to kind of get into more of the 80s rock and that kind of thing too. So.
Well, Eric, are you guys strictly cover band, or do you have any originals?
Oh, we're going to do originals.
Oh.
I've been a songwriter since I started playing guitar.
Okay.
Well, let's hear more about that. Like, when did you pick up a guitar? When did you begin your musical beginnings?
I heard this guy when I was probably 9 years old named Eddie Van Halen, and that was it right there. I was sold on playing guitar. So I learned on a tennis rack. I spent probably the first 5 years of my playing career trying to learn on a tennis racket.
Okay, hold on. Wait a second. So a tennis racket is made kind of different than a guitar, because a guitar
exactly
has
a lot different. There's a hell of a lot more strings.
So were you like practicing your guitar movements? Like how you were going to get all crazy?
You figure I was 10 years old. I was looking in the mirror and dancing is what I was doing.
Okay.
So he had to get the moves down first. Okay. The music will come. Okay. But the moves, like, you got to nail that.
That's right.
But I grew up, I'm the son of a football coach. And so sports was really the first thing in my life. So music really took a back burner until I was probably 18 years old. And I went off to college and went to a guitar store and I walked out with 2 guitars and an amp, and that blew my college tuition.
That's so much for college. There you go.
Yeah. And I went to college up in Boise. So that whole Pacific Northwest in the early 90s was kind of what shaped everything that I've done in music.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think that style, probably around that time, it was starting to get a little grungy, especially in the West Coast. So I feel like that's right.
Oh, well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Northern California, well, grunge is like Seattle and all that. But
yeah.
I'm sure it still influenced Northern California a lot, right?
Oh, it influenced the whole world, really. But being up there during that period of time, those 4 years that I was up there, was just it was magical. We'd just take a little road trip to go see Pearl Jam in some bar somewhere, or it was just a magical time for music.
I love that. And all the musicians we've interviewed, no one has ever used the term magical to describe a decade of music. And I'm just...
Because music is magical, man.
You are absolutely correct. I think I'm just kind of baffled that nobody has used that as a descriptor. So thank you for that.
We break records all the time. We control the weather too. I'll tell you that now.
I'm looking at y'all and can tell y'all are awesome to hang out and party with. Russell looks like he's just ready to go. Like, let me get a bottle of liquor and let's go.
That's it.
How do you control the weather?
What?
I don't know how we do it, but we do it.
Every time we've played an outdoor venue, and it's like been like 90 to 100% chance of rain. It's never rained on us.
It's gone right past us.
Split second, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we got to the
played a
bottom
show.
of the Stone Parker mystery. Now we need to know how they are managing to control the weather.
I don't know, but I hope they bring that shit to Rock the Pig.
Yeah, we played a show literally 4 minutes from my house, and it was dumping rain at my house, and we didn't get a drop at the show.
Nope.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it didn't start until after we were done and packed up and headed home, and that's when the skies opened.
So
speaking of magic.
Yeah.
That's the way he jumps around and dances on stage.
There you go. Yeah, it's a rain dance. Anti-rain dance.
All right, so Erik, why do they call you the Energy?
You have to see. You'll see. I don't stop for 3 hours. Our shows are typically 3 hour sets, and I don't stop. And I'm a sweaty mess after a show.
As well you should be. That's how you know it was a great show.
So you guys got a favorite? I mean, I hate to ask this question, but it's kind of like when a band that does a lot of covers, man. Because I'm seeing on your website, you guys really did a good job of Bad Moon Rising. I really like the version of Picture by Kid Rock that y'all did. Mm-hmm. Do y'all have a favorite like cover to sing? Like, well, what's the one where you just get the crowd going with?
Eruption.
Yes.
I mean, that was just, we sit back and let our guitar play.
We don't really do anything with that.
Yeah, we don't do anything. We just stand there and watch the kid go off. But I love it, the Led Zeppelin stuff we do.
That would be it for me. I mean,
yeah.
It's my.
I thought he was going to say something.
Oh, I think we did.
For me, I have to say, the blank stare. Hate Myself for Loving You. I think that really is a crowd pleaser too, and we really all, I think, enjoy doing that one. And that's usually towards like the end of the night, and that's when we really kind of rock it out. And that's a good one.
I mean, the harmony songs and the duet songs make a big difference too. I mean, everything we do together. We're starting to draw the crowd's starting to actually question if we're actually married now. So obviously we want
chemistry. Good chemistry.
What was that, Russell?
I said, so obviously we're doing something right if that's the response we're getting. That's the way I look at it.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I saw you wearing a ring already, so let's are you single too, Carrie? Or are you married?
I am single, yeah.
Uh-oh.
All right, gentlemen of the triangle. Here we are.
I do run a singles group, so I mean, we can find you somebody. So what's that one that you're like, oh God, I don't want to play? Do you take a lot of requests from the crowd, or do you do that, or you just come in with a set list at every show?
We haven't done the request thing yet. I think once we start to.
Well, last show we did a request.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was that bad?
No, it was really good. We just didn't want to play it that night. It was Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of, and it wasn't the right.
Okay.
It wasn't the right crowd
venue
to be doing that song for.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But it was the end of the night. There wasn't, the diehards were still there, and so we got that requested. So we did.
I feel like that does kind of change the tone for the evening. I love Rage as much as the next girl, but when you're out having a good time, you're in a good mood, a few drinks in, and then you hear Killing in the Name of, you kind of want to punch people, and that really takes a really negative turn on a night out.
Biker bars love that song, though.
I believe that.
We can use the crowd pretty good as far as what we think they're going to respond to well. So we kind of base things off that, too. If we're playing to our set and it come across a song and think, this might not be a good spot for this song, we can mix it and go to something else. So we try to just play basically for the crowd we have. We don't want to, the goal is to keep your crowd interested. You don't want to play stuff that's going to make them run for the exits.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was trying to think of a bad song, and I just
all I can think
up.
is like Freebird, and I'm like, ugh.
Hey, look, I'm gonna share some info with you right now because the struggle is real over here.
Oh
So
no.
so tomorrow I have to go to have a procedure done, and this procedure I'm having done entails me to go almost 48 hours without food. Okay, but I started late last night by not eating anything high in fiber. Okay, today I haven't had a bite to eat all fucking day, and it's killing me. Like I am. I'm on pins and needles right now. Like this microphone is starting to look like a hot dog. All right, that's how hungry I am.
Yeah.
So, and I can't eat until this is done, and I'm thinking around 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow. So pray for me, guys, and
yeah.
No
problem.
I'll have a burger for you too.
Right.
Oh, so we just went fishing yesterday and caught this. Well, Laura, she's over here. Fucking sportswoman catching this big 22-pound king mackerel, and we went and had it cut up into steaks, and they're all in my freezer just calling me. Like I'd eat one raw right now, but anyway. Well, hey, look, so I am diverting my mind away from food right now. Hold on. So we're going to play Hammered Trivia.
You diverted it there.
What? I know I did. I thought maybe they wanted to hear this. So I know Russell's pressed for time, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to play Hammered Trivia. So you know what this is about, Eric? Have you watched any of the shows before?
No.
Okay. I appreciate the honesty. I hope you at least watch one.
He just comes right out with it.
Yeah, this is good. Right. Now they don't know what to expect. They can come in. I feel like this gives me a leg up.
I don't know. This is going to be a hard one. But since we've got oh Jesus, after the leg up comment,
I've got the office
you go
in the
there,
background.
I ignored it.
No one else took it, so okay, moving on.
All right, anyway, here we go. The way this works is it's going to be, since it's 3 of you guys and there's 6 questions. Laura gets 3, you guys will get 3. So what we'll do is, should I let them work together or just give one question per member?
I think, well,
I think it should be one question per member.
Well,
yeah, we'll do that.
There's 3 members and me,
so they get 3 questions, which would be 1 apiece. Got that? It's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're confusing everybody. I know what I'm talking about. So you just sit over there and lose, okay?
I don't know. I feel like your blood sugar's tanking.
It might.
The hanger is setting in.
All right, so there's 6 questions total. Laura gets 3. You guys will get 3. If there's a tie at the end of the 6, we'll move over to the overtime question 7. All right. And today's trivia is on people named Stone or Parker.
Oh, my God.
Yes. People named Stone or Parker. And we're going to start out with Russell. You guys are guests here. So, Russell, you're going to get question number 1. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. In which Oliver Stone movie did Tom Cruise play a Vietnam veteran?
Platoon.
No. Can I answer this?
I was going to give you some options. No.
Can I answer this? I know the answer.
I didn't know it was multiple choice.
It is multiple choice. Should I? He didn't know.
He was so
I know the answer.
confident.
I mean,
if that had been me, Michael, you would have given me the X for sure.
Platoon was one of the multiple choice answers, though. So
right.
So
you
would have gotten it wrong.
Well, it was Nixon, Legend, Rain Man, Platoon, or Born on the 4th of July.
See, I would have still guessed Platoon.
Oh, okay. He was honest. I appreciate the honesty. And that's going to be a big X. It was Born on the 4th of July.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not a Tom Cruise
Good
fan.
movie.
Yeah.
That's a good movie, though.
Yeah, Platoon was like Charlie Sheen and William Dafoe and Tom Berenger. Yeah. All right, Laura, are you ready?
Wait, are the rest of our guests aren't going first?
No. It's one.
Oh,
now
so
you
we're
go.
like alternating.
Yeah. So
okay.
I got her. She's with me, folks.
I thought
yes.
we were doing it like Vertigo style, where it was each of us against one another.
No,
I thought that's what you were describing. Moving on.
Moving on. Yeah.
Ask me the question.
I got to edit all this out now.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, Laura. Sharon Stone's first critically acclaimed performance came in the role of Catherine Trammell in what 1992 erotic thriller co-starring Michael Douglas? Body of Evidence, Murder in the First, Basic Instinct, or Risk Addiction?
I'm going to go Basic Instinct.
You got it right.
Are you serious?
How did you even have to sit there and think?
No, I've never seen it. I literally guessed.
Eric, you're up.
All right.
This is another Oliver Stone movie. Which of these actors is not in JFK? Christian Slater, Tommy Lee Jones, Kevin Bacon, Gary Oldman, or Kevin Costner?
Christian Slater.
That is correct. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I haven't seen JFK enough to realize Christian Slater wasn't in it because he was in everything. Anyway.
I'll take your word for it.
Laura, so right now you're up one, and they have one, but you're a question up. Tony Parker won an NBA championship with what team? Oh, you're fucked. Phoenix Suns, the Charlotte Hornets, the Chicago Bulls, or San Antonio Spurs?
What was the first one?
The Phoenix Suns.
That one.
That is wrong.
I figured it.
With the San Antonio Spurs. So now we're even up. We're even up.
All
right. Carrie.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Carrie, you have a chance to put the Stone Parker Band up by one.
Pressure. No
yes.
pressure.
All right. In which film did Sarah Jessica Parker act alongside and begin a relationship with Robert Downey Jr.?
Okay.
Oh, is it The Feeding Club? I guess you need to
I was like, what? I thought these were multiple choice.
Pausing for dramatic effects is all.
Yeah, I just wanted to see her face when, am I fucked? Yeah. All right. The Feeding Club, Firstborn, Star of the Night, and Reach. And if it's any consolation, I've never heard of any of these movies.
Yeah,
Me neither.
I feel a guest coming on.
You know any of those are.
B.
I'll say the second one.
Star Wars.
Firstborn?
Yeah.
That is correct. Oh my gosh. Firstborn. I never even heard of that movie.
Whoops. That was a lucky guess.
Fancy
Okay,
candle.
Laura, no pressure, but you need this to tie. All right, and force a question 7. What daytime soap opera did Parker Posey get her start on? Was it As the World Turns, Guiding Light, Days of Our Lives, or General Hospital? To force overtime.
Days of Our Lives.
The Stone Parker Brand. Congratulations, you are the winners of trivia.
Wait, you need a trophy.
Oh, yes, well.
Yeah, what do we win?
You actually get a trophy. And you know what? For 3 of you, we give you 3 trophies when you see you. Yes.
They can't see it. Show it to them.
Look at that camera. Show them right there. That's the one there.
They can see on this camera?
Yep. See? Right there.
Oh, well, we're frozen. So you get this really great trophy, by the way.
Oh, that camera is frozen, isn't it? Oh, whoops. You can't see all our excitement over here.
Wait, they can't see you?
I know. You just see you looking at a paper or whatever you're looking at.
Yeah, I know what happened. So the camera that's hooked up to the Zoom, it's an iPhone camera, so it probably had that like notification, 20% battery life. And boom, it just freezes up the whole thing.
Well, I'm really sad that you guys can't get to look at the trophy, but provided the table camera comes back to life, it's sitting in the middle of the table, so you can check it out.
All right, yeah, we'll make sure. We got to come to a Stone Parker Band gig, you know.
There you go.
But first, let me the answer to that question was As the World Turns, Laura. I know it's killing you deep down.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's killing you deep down. But,
I mean, truly, I should be very disappointed in myself and all the daytime TV that I watch. Really, I should have known.
Yeah, we'll forgive you. Anyway, guys and gals, where are you guys going to be at? you got any gigs coming up soon we can plug?
We've got
one. Go ahead, Daz.
Go ahead. I got.
Oh,
we got.
We'll be.
You gotta love Zoom interviews.
Our next gig is in August 13th. We're going to be in Thomasville at the Alibi.
14th.
See, Donna should have taken this.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Well, we actually have a scrolling banner here at the bottom that's going to be on the final cut. That's going to have all your gigs up there. It's
sweet.
Great,
yeah, so you guys are going to be. I'm going to show you in a minute. It's just moving really slow, and I'm going to show you how I can name these.
Slow as this one's been moving.
So Double D Burnout Salabi Bar and Lounge in Thomasville, North Carolina. That's going to be August the 14th at 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's still moving. Still moving. I'm reading too fast. Anyway, everybody gets the, if you're not watching this and you're just listening to it, then I'm sorry. They screwed you over. You're going to have to go to the webpage.
We're kind of just listening to it here, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Where else can they find out about the Stone Parker Band? You got a webpage, Facebook, all that good stuff?
Everything. Website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, website.
Yep.
I clicked on your link for Twitter on the webpage, and it didn't go to your Twitter. It went to, like, my homepage.
Oh, really?
So your link might be broke. I don't know.
It's our secret spy weather controlling stuff that we do.
This is a fierce picture of Carrie. We gotta check that out. She's hot.
Oh, wow. Oh,
What's
boy.
up, girl, in your Def Leppard t-shirt? I see you. Okay.
She's the hot one in the band.
I mean, obviously.
Somebody has to be, right?
Thank
Somebody
you.
has to get people through the door. Yeah.
I'm just a backup here.
Just a backup singer. Nah, I heard you singing those videos, man. You sound really good, man. Well, look, I want to thank y'all for being on the show. If there's anything, Laura, you got anything before we say goodbye?
No, I don't. Guys, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us. I hope this wasn't a total colossal waste of Russell's lunch break. He's like, I really could have been fucking eating during this.
He's stubborn just like you are.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for taking time out of your days to sit here and chat with us.
I just forgot about food, too, and you just brought up
We're
eating
definitely
again.
come play the event. So, I mean.
Well, hopefully we can get to one of these gigs, man. I'd like to see y'all beforehand.
Yeah.
But,
Definitely.
If not, we will see you guys September 4th. Rock the Pig, Bud's Tavern in Youngsville, North Carolina. Get your tickets. Go to Eventbrite and look up Rock the Pig. Tickets are $25, and 90% of the proceeds are going to Pause for Life.
Pause for Life NC. If you love the puppies and the kitties, definitely come to this event. Even if you don't, come for the live music, come for the food, come for the company. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, and when you show up, your $25 also is paying for your entrance into the Blind Draw Cornhole Tournament. So, hey, my buddy Chris Clark's going to be out there running that one. So, Stone Parker Band, get out there early, man. Test out your cornhole skills.
Cornhole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually run a cornhole league in my neighborhood.
Oh, do you?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
He's got a pro over here.
You know what? Hold on. Because I used to play pro, man, for 6 years. Yeah, I know a lot of guys around there. I'll come play in your league, man.
I
Let's
was going
go.
to say, so just never mind if he shows up at your house, like, we're playing cornhole, man.
That's right.
And it's like, who are you? Get off my porch.
I'll see you later. I got to head back in. So.
All right, Russell. Hey, that being said, thanks a lot, Stone Parker Band.
Yes,
Russell,
thank
Eric,
you.
Carrie, thanks for. We'll see you guys in September. So that was the Stone Parker Band. You know, what'd you think about them?
I think they are a great group. You can totally tell that they are passionate about what they do. You can totally tell that, they make me want to go see them. They make me regretful that I haven't been to see them yet.
Yeah. I totally. I don't know. I'm just thinking about food. I can't get food out of my thoughts. I'm so hungry right now. This is awful.
This is
terrible.
why. This is why it was like all you want to do is talk about your colonoscopy. All you want to do is talk about the torture that you're enduring to go get a scope shoved up your booty hole. But it's important for men your age. You got to make sure you don't have any colon cancer.
That was a little too visual right then. There was no need to go there. But anyway, so what they failed to tell me at the VA last time I went was that you had to not eat the day before. Like
the entire day before, not not just like 24 hours to the minute.
The entire day. So the container with the salt mix that you make this gallon of salt water that tastes disgusting, they actually gave me a lemon pack this time around, which made it a little bit better.
They felt bad you had to do it again.
God. So I followed the directions on the original gallon, and it said do not eat like 4 hours before you start taking this stuff. So I didn't. So I ate the whole day before, up to 4 hours before I started taking this stuff. So I thought I was all cleaned out. I mean, not to get too visual again, like you
were not. You still had poop in your booty hole.
It was clear liquid. So I go the next morning, and they do the old right up the old buttocks, and they had to stop like halfway through the exam because I was not cleaned out all the way.
That's amazing.
And I was like, are you kidding me? I followed the directions on the gallon, on the plastic gallon bottle. And then they're like, no, you got to follow these. So the VA gives you this whole other little pamphlet, tells you what to do. So there you go. I'm struggling right now.
It's okay. You don't have much longer. Like, think about it. It's almost 8 o'clock. You can pretty much go to bed after this. You know, you can play your little phone game on your iPhone, and you can just do that till you fall asleep, and then boom, it's over.
I mean, which is probably what's going to happen after I drink some more of that solution. I know. And it's good times.
Okay, this is a question, and it is going to be pretty graphic, but I need to know. So, this stuff, it's pretty much like a medical grade laxative. So you drink this, and then, you know, it does its thing. Your tummy starts talking, and you're like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom now. So at some point, it becomes liquid, right? So what happens? Like, you get that feeling, and you're like, what if you're like, oh, it's just a fart, and, like, you let it go, and what, you just, like, spray water out your booty hole?
You do not want to fart. If you feel like you're about to fart when you're taking this stuff,
do not trust the fart.
Do not trust it. Wow, this is getting pretty pretty gross.
Do not trust the fart. I just, you know, I have questions. You know what I mean? Like, you know, one of my all of my opticians are of that age, but one of my opticians I was talking to.
What do you mean of that age? You mean old?
Of that age where you need to start getting a routine colonoscopy to check for cancer.
I kind of think you were just calling me old subliminally there. Yeah.
What's the word I was looking for? Subversively, not subliminally. Anyway, you can't ask these questions to your coworkers, right? I work in a medical facility, so I can't just like be openly talking about colonoscopies and the steps leading up to it where I work. So, you know, I can't ask these questions to my opticians. So, you know, I feel not? This is a safe space. I got to ask you. So does it just like kind of dribble out, or is it like a garden hose?
Oh my God. Did you really just ask that? So
the world needs to know these things, Michael.
It sprays. It's like a fountain.
Oh my God.
It's pretty bad.
So do you get backsplash?
I mean, you do have to clean the toilet really good. I mean, yeah, it makes a disaster area out of your toilet. Matter of fact, I would not go and use my toilet in my bathroom.
I'm just thinking about like the way your bathroom is set up. You know, your toilet is kind of tucked into this little corner between the wall of your closet. Wow.
Oh, no, I forgot to turn my phone off.
Wow, you broke your own rule.
Oh, no, I forgot to turn the sound off.
Oh, my God.
Hope that wasn't important.
So, your toilet's kind of tucked into this corner or this little, like, walled off section of your bathroom. It's almost like its own kind of little toilet room. And I'm just thinking about, you know, when it sprays out, it's going everywhere. Like those poor hand towels that are hanging up next to you, those got to go in the wash. Like,
you're
going to have to like disinfect like that whole little corner of your bathroom.
The toilet gets hammered. Nothing else. I mean, we have
not had that toilet very long.
We have reached an all-time low on this show that now we are talking about.
Do they have that toilet? Does it come with a manufacturer warranty? Because I feel like you're really putting it to the test.
I'm thinking I'm going to get me a maid in here, a house cleaner, to clean that thing when it's all said and done. But, yeah. Should we continue talking about my colonoscopy?
Michael, I'm telling you, okay. I promise this was the only thing you wanted to do. The first time you had to go through this, that is all you wanted to talk about. So this is me granting you that opportunity to talk about it. I'm going to ask you all the nasty questions because you want to talk about it. You want to talk about how hungry you are. You don't want to talk about how hungry you are because you're just going to get hangry. So I'm talking about the other steps of it.
All right. But, I mean, you ever heard that expression about the dead horse and beating it?
This is not a dead horse, my good sir.
No,
it's not a dead horse until that scope comes out of your booty hole tomorrow.
Dead air.
So, is it a tiny, tiny camera?
So I don't know. What happens is they take you into the waiting area and they give you a gown. You take off all your clothes, get completely naked. They tell you to get comfortable. They give you your phone. Say, hey, you're going to be on your phone. I mean, you're going to be in here for a while. Here's your phone. Go ahead, play some games. So then the doctor comes in, tells you the procedure, what they're going to do. They take your phone, put it in a plastic bag with all your other belongings, and then they wheel you into the procedure room. There, in the procedure room, there is a monitor that the doctors use to see the camera as it goes up. And they've got it on so you can kind of see, like, it looks like an x-ray or whatnot. So they wheel you in front of this screen, and they tell you to lay on your left side. When you lay on your left side, you extend your left leg straight, and then you take your right leg and you bring it in toward your body, bending your knee. I call this the insertion position. Okay, so they put you in the insertion position, and the anesthesiologist and about 4 other people in the room. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's just your delivery. Continue.
There's 4 other people in the room. You have the doctor, you have the anesthesiologist, you have like a nurse, and I was lucky there was a doctor in training there, someone else to see my butthole that really didn't have a purpose of being there, just other than watching. Okay. So,
but aren't you? I'd be kind of honored that there was a doctor there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm the learning subject.
Yeah. I was the one that wasn't clean, and they had to reschedule me. Okay. Anyway, so the anesthesiologist, he goes over this speech where you have to give oral consent.
Not anal consent.
Oh. That was funny.
That was
pretty rough.
That was funny.
And he asked me, "Are you going to accept this fentanyl?" It's like whatever they give you has got fentanyl in it. So I was like, "Oh shit, I'm getting fentanyl." All right. Anyway, so I acknowledge, and the doctors acknowledge. Everybody in their room acknowledges that they heard me say I give consent. Evidently, they got sued or some shit, killed somebody, but who knows?
Oh my God.
So he starts the line in my IV, and the last thing I remember was making a joke. He like told me to put my hand in the hole or something. It was like a hole in the bed where I could just put my arm, make it feel better. It was a gap in the rails. Anyway, I put my arm in there and was like, "Yeah, you're about to put something up in me," and then I woke up in the waiting room. So that shit hits you hard. It's like time travel.
No pun intended.
No, maybe that was my bad joke. But anyway, yeah, that was my experience. We went from a local band, the Stone Parker Band, to talking about my butt.
Michael, I know how you work. This is something that is on your mind, and you got to talk about it. And I'm telling you, this is just me granting you that opportunity. I think this one's going to have to be its own separate kind of episode entity. I don't feel like the Stone Parker Band needs this kind of outro to their episode, so we can at least grant them that courtesy.
Well, there are some other things I wanted to talk about.
Oh, well, let's hear it.
So a couple of weeks ago, maybe more like 3 weeks, maybe even, about 3 weeks, I started work at the Plus Dueling Piano Bar downtown Raleigh as a security officer or security guard bouncer. You come up with your own term there, whatever you want to be.
Whatever makes you feel most important.
Yeah. Now, back when I lived in Colorado Springs, probably 2001, 2002 going into 2003, I used to be a bouncer at a club downtown Colorado Springs. It was one of those like high-class clubs where the bouncers had to dress up and they wore their little earpieces, and there was like maybe 6 or 7 of us working there.
I bet you look so cute in that little suit.
I'm going to tell you, my mentality back then compared to my mentality of bouncing now is completely different. So back then, when I was in my 20s, you're kind of wild and fiery. You're like, you're always looking to fight. You don't care. You just wait to see somebody drunk so you can just go over there and grab them and toss them, But now I'm like 45, old as balls, just sitting there like, God, my feet are killing me by 10 o'clock. And these people just annoy you. Like some of the patrons there, these 20-year-olds, they get drunk and you're just like, really? I used to do that, really. That used to be me.
We have all been that person.
I mean, I'm not so quick to, like, put hands on somebody now. Patrick Swayze said in Roadhouse, be nice until you can't, until it's not time. Am I saying the quote wrong?
I could not tell you.
Be nice until it's time not to be nice. That is the quote. Okay. That is my mentality now. I am completely nice. A lot of bouncers I see, they always look mean. They always look like they're
the younger guys, the big guys. They're the one. They have that mentality that you did when you were bouncing in Colorado Springs. They're like, I'm prepared to fuck someone up if I have to. You are on the opposite end of the spectrum where you're like, please don't make me fuck someone up this evening.
I mean, I'm just trying to keep these crazy people from spilling beer on the piano players up there. And you still can't. You tell I told this one girl 3 times, and finally I had to take her beer. And it's like, I still let her stay. See, the old me would have been like, come here, bitch, you're out. Psh, boom.
Aww.
But, I mean, it's a weird world working security as a mid-40-year-old man.
I do appreciate the dichotomy in your mindset, though. I appreciate your introspection that, when you're thinking about when you did this 20 years ago versus, how you're handling it now. I appreciate that you're putting yourself through that experience. And not enough people kind of think about, how their mentalities have changed from one profession to the next or one profession across several decades,
Yeah. So like strippers, I'd love to have a older stripper in here to talk about how stripping in her 20s differentiates from her later years. You think they got the same mentality? Like they're tired of the bullshit. They just get in there and show titties and get their money. But I don't know.
I don't have any input. You know, to be honest, I've never seen like an older stripper. Like, what is the median age for, you know, strippers?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's like 40-year-old strippers out there.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
But I definitely think the median age is probably like 22, 23.
Well, some of them just don't give it up.
Well, strippers make fucking bank. I'm about to go apply to some gentleman's club.
I done told you, get that OnlyFans page. You know, these crazy dudes out here, they'll spend their money on anything.
I will wiggle my toes in front of my camera on my OnlyFans for hours if it pays me the way I need
Wiggle
it
your
to.
toes.
Yeah, you know, people have like little foot fetishes.
Think I can put my feet up there and get some OnlyFans?
Try. Go for it. No one's telling you not to.
Yeah, I am. I mean...
So, you take this girl's beer. What's stopping her from going to get another one?
Well, so... Nothing, really. No, so the way the venue works is they have a glass color code system. So if you get a certain color glass, it means you can't get served any more alcohol because you have crossed that threshold.
Oh, shit. No, really?
Yeah. I wish I would have paid better attention when we went there a while back.
I know. Now that's
seen what color glass you had.
I'm going to be looking at now when I go to Plus is, you know, what color glass is this asshole drinking out of?
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't want to give out their secrets or anything, but it's a red cup. Red is usually
red means
a symbol
stop.
of, like, stop, yeah.
Red means stop.
Hazard. You're about to go.
So, you know, I'm assuming the waitress has the pleasure of informing these patrons, like, hey, I can't serve you anymore. Like, how does that go down? Like, I would dread having to do that. Like, I'm going to get punched in the face.
What, serving them a red cup?
Well, no, just having to tell them, like, you know, so if I'm, you know, serving and I give someone, you know, their last glass, I know it's their last glass. Everyone else knows or everyone else who works there knows it's their last glass. That patron doesn't know it's their last glass. So, you know, they're trying to order another drink and I got to be like, nah.
Well, that's when you would call me over and with my, it's time to be nice until it's not time to be nice attitude.
See,
and then we would come over and we would remove the people. We would have a little talk to them and make sure they exit the facility in a...
This is why it was such a basket case. Your first night there was like, I was truly like... I was anticipating the worst. I'm like, you know, in the few times, I'm going to say like maybe half a dozen times we've been to Plus together as patrons. I've never seen anybody get belligerent, but I have heard stories of people getting super fucking belligerent at Plus. So I really just let my mind run away with that one. And I'm like, he's going to get knocked down and he's not going to get back up. And he does not have a life alert, friends. Like,
what?
He does not have that button.
Oh, my God. What are you talking? Look, I've got a pretty good chin, so it would take a lot to knock me out.
I know,
I
but
won't
that's
get
what I
knocked
was
down,
afraid of.
But I would promise you I'd get back up. Now, let's talk about Plus. Plus isn't one of those places where you have to worry about brawls or, you know, that's
exactly.
some other places down on Glenwood in downtown Raleigh. I'm not going to name the names of these places, but it's primarily, you know, a younger crowd, especially around 11 o'clock. The college kids start coming in, and that's where your brawls happen, okay? Plus is more of an upscale place, you know.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is classy entertainment.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, but you know, you said it, like there comes a certain time of the night where a certain demographic of individuals wanders in and they start getting stupid.
Yeah.
And I was fearful of that for you.
Well, I can appreciate your concern. You don't have to worry about anything. I'll just be hiding behind the drummer
Oh my God.
Making sure beer is not being brought on the stage. But anyway, hey, come see me. Plus, on most Friday nights, that's when I work. Most Friday nights. I mean,
by most, he means one Friday out of the month.
1 or 2 a month. You know, I got a lot going on. You know,
But who are you telling?
I mean, between we just did a field trip. I'm going to call this a field trip for the podcast.
It was a field trip.
Yeah, and that was pretty fun. We went down to Jacksonville, North Carolina, and saw our man Sweet Willie, who we met at Plus a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And we're actually going to be recording a podcast with Sweet Willie here in the next few days. Took us out in the Atlantic right off of Emerald Isle, and we did some king mackerel fishing. And someone tapped into their inner fucking Jacques Cousteau, or who's a famous fisherman. I have no idea.
Oh, who's the guy from Old Man in the Sea, or like Moby Dick?
Captain Ahab.
Yeah, I'm like that guy.
He caught a fucking blue whale. Not a blue whale. He caught a sperm whale that was white. You caught a king mackerel. There's a big difference.
Okay, close enough.
No, it's not.
I fail to see what the big difference is.
One's 22. It's kind of a difference.
Well, I was kind of recounting this story to my coworkers today, and I just recall reeling this fish in, and it really did not give me as much fight as like the tiny shark that I caught earlier did. Yeah. I feel like that took like way more just effort overall.
Maybe that king mackerel is just a punk. Maybe its cardio was weak. It just gave up on life.
Or maybe I'm just an excellent fisherwoman.
I'm not going to discount that at all.
Thank you.
You brought home the big trophy, even though it wasn't a certifiable or citationable fish. You missed it by 8 pounds. But it was a good time this weekend. And right before that, we were in Hilton Head visiting a couple of Army buddies of mine.
We've been running.
Not slowing down at all. But
no rest for the wicked.
Makes life go by pretty fast.
We'll sleep when we're dead.
No, you cannot do that. You need all the sleep you can get right now while you're alive, because the more you stay awake, the less sleep you get, the shorter your lifespan. Yeah,
it's true. I think researchers do indicate that people who get a minimum, it's a very specific window. So if you get more than 8 hours of sleep a night, you are prone to dying early. If you get less than like 7 hours of sleep at night, you're more prone to dying early. So get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep, guys. Get your shut-eye. And that is your hammered PSA of the week.
Well, there is a book I have been listening to, because I do read, but I really prefer audiobooks because they're awesome. You can listen to them while you're on the go, while you're working out, when you're doing long drives. Well, there's this book called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, PhD, and this opened my eyes to sleep. Like, I will definitely get my 8 hours of sleep every night now.
I see what you did there. That was funny.
What?
Open your eyes to sleep.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Or maybe it should have closed your eyes to sleep.
Closed your eyes to sleep.
There's this hysterical meme out there, and it's an old one. It's an oldie but a goodie. And it's just a picture of a woman. I think it looks like she's in an airport somewhere, like head back, mouth open, knocked out of sleep. And the book she's reading is like How to Sleep or something like that. And it's, I don't know, it's funny. And the caption's like, best book ever. Like, I don't know. I'm describing it, and I promise everyone listening knows what I'm talking about. Everyone's seen it.
I'm going to have to, I haven't seen it, so I'm going to have to check it out.
You'll know when you see it. It's a good one. What kind of audiobooks do you listen to while you're working out?
Oh, I was listening to one on the Civil War. I've listened to quite a few audiobooks.
I can see how that would inspire you to get your pump on.
I listened to one, Empire of the Hold on, let me look up the name of this. Empire of the Rising Sun or something like that.
I'm going to tell you, audiobooks is something I cannot get into. I joined, me and my coworkers from my past life we formed kind of like a book club. So we were reading books for like leadership development, books that would essentially get us better at our jobs, right? And we would read a couple chapters and then we'd convene and talk about it. But I'm not one to just sit down and sit still and read a book. I drink too much coffee during my day, so I had the bright idea of, downloading Audible and listening to these books and like going on a run or doing whatever. But the voice that I have reading these books to myself in my head is not the voice of the voice actors reading this book. It's entirely too robotic and I can't get bought in. So I either just have to learn how to chill and read a book or offer my beautiful vocal services to those out there if you want me to voice your book for you.
Now, I'm going to agree with you to an extent. There are some, let me see. I'm pulling up my Audible account now so I can see my library. So I have listened to Empire of the Summer Moon. Oh, this is Empire of the Summer Moon. That's a great audiobook about Native Americans, the Comanches, and oh God, what's his name? Cynthia Ann Parker and her son. Is it Awana Parker? He was like the last Comanche chief. But anyway, so those guys that read that book, The Jungle was a good book. Empire of the Rising Sun. What did I say? Is that Empire of the Summer Moon. Those guys that read those books had a deep like voice, and I don't know, it didn't put me to sleep. But I'm reading 12 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson right now, and Jordan Peterson, he's like a conservative. He is hated by the left big time, especially the progressives. And I was like, I want to read this book, because he was on Joe Rogan. He's been on Joe Rogan a couple of times, and I agree with a lot of the shit he's talking about.
So what are the 12 rules of life?
I'm only on 5 right now, and I had to stop because his voice is so annoying.
Oh, no.
He's reading his own book, and he's like a northerner, and the way he pronounces certain words just takes me out. I feel like as a super right-wing conservative reading your own angry thoughts out loud, I feel like that could get pretty... So his thoughts aren't angry. Like I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, why is he hated so much? Basically, this is a religious book, and I'm not that religious, but he is mostly talking about religion. That's it. Only on Rule 5 though. So if I go back and I try and I listen to it and get past Rule 5, I'll let you know.
Well, my thought is, you as a, mostly conservative white male, I feel like you can, identify with that tone and that voice, probably more so than like me, who's left-leaning, female, minority situation, would listen to it and I would probably be like, this sounds like an angry white man from New York.
Yeah, I mean, I consider myself more leaning in the middle than I am conservative because I think there's idiots on both sides.
Well, that's why I said conservative leaning, and I consider myself, liberal leaning, or so that's
but anyway, I can't listen to Jordan Peterson's book. It is just so annoying. I wish I had like some excerpts of his voice I could play for everybody, but.
Well, I would like to point out to you, there's something that you do with your voice, and it's not your voice, it's how you pronounce something.
Oh, God, here we go.
No, it's really interesting. It's directions. So when you say like northeastern or southwestern, you put an extra syllable at the very end. So you say northeastern or southwestern.
Northeastern.
Yes, you just did it.
Northwestern. That's just growing up in North Carolina, I think. Northeastern.
I have never heard this. Stop it.
She loves it when I sing, Project.
I've never heard that, and for some reason, I love to make jabs when you mispronounce things, but this is not a mispronunciation. I don't think it's just this very very distinct dialect, but it is only with those handful of words that are directional. So I want to be like,
that's called a North Carolina dialect. Yes. And by the way, if you're listening to this and you have a book and you want me to read it, this voice right here, I'm telling you, I'll read your book. $5,000. Let's go. Look it up.
Well, obviously we have an actual literal podcast, so there's something to be said for the wonderful tones of our voices streaming through our listeners' ears for the full 4 seconds that they listen.
And all 5 of them. Right. All right. We hope you enjoyed listening to Laura and my banter. We'd like to thank the...
our single listener. We love you.
Our single listener for listening. Well, no, there's 5 of them out there. And,
we
also
love every single one of them.
We'd also like to thank the Stone Parker Band, who was on in our first half of the show. And, hey, you got anything else, Laura? Or should we just leave them be?
I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I caught it like every single time you were going to say Stone Parker Band. You do like this half beat after saying Stone. And I think you wanted to say Stone Temple Pilots every single time.
I should have made the Stone Temple Pilots a freaking trivia question. Damn it.
Well, you didn't make the Stone and Parker quiz, did you? Or did you?
I did. That's why I told you this was going to be hard. I was sitting there Googling like famous Stones, famous Parkers.
And then
after I found
one. Stones question.
Yeah, just like there was those Stone Temple Pilots.
That's it. We just got to have them on again. But I thought that was very creative and very witty. Thank you for that. That was entertaining.
All right. That being said, we're out. Peace. We'll see you on the next episode of Hammered.